Yeah, so looks like we got a new character coming. Omega. She's from the Bad Batch. I haven't watched this show yet, so I don't really know anything about her. I do know she hangs out with Hunter. That's about all I know. I mean, I guess she hangs out with all the other guys, but I think she started hanging out with Hunter the most, right? I don't know. Anyhow, let's get into this developer insight. So, says, hey, table heroes. Omega, the enhanced clone from Camino. She's a clone from Camino? I guess that makes sense why she hangs out with them. Has made her way to the holotables to round out the Bad Batch faction. Her interest in Clone Force 99 eventually led her to joining the Ragtag Bunch, as well as her being the catalyst for an impromptu food fight. Although Omega often felt like a misfit, the Bad Batch embraced her and became the family she never had. Sort of, I mean, they're all her brothers, so... Under her Bad Batch lead, Omega gained speed and offense. When stealthed, she also assists Bad Batch allies when they use a special ability. Her special ability, Adaptive Learner, introduces a new buff and new status effects to the game, target practice, and zeroed in. I feel like that should have had a colon there. And introduced new status effects to the game, target practice, and zeroed in. The buff grants damage bonuses, while the status effect allows her to ignore taunt on enemies affected by zeroed in. Omega can also inflict blind and daze on enemies with her basic ability, Disarming Shot. Disarming Shot? Somebody else has that. I can't think of who, but that's a very familiar sounding name. Is that like Cup, actually? Is that Cup's move? Omega is the piece of the puzzle the Bad Batch didn't know they needed, but accepted wholeheartedly. On the holotables, she adds some high single-target damage output to an already fun faction. Play the new marquee event to unlock Omega and complete your Bad Batch squad. Yeah, it's about time, though, they get 5. They made the other 4, and I was like, well, teams are teams of 5, so what's going on here? And boom, here it is. Her. The basics. Omega joins the holotables as the 5th member of the Bad Batch squad, which enables Wrecker to start the battle with Taunt. That's pretty cool. Previously, the majority of the damage in the Bad Batch squad came from Hunter, but Omega helps round out the team's offensive capabilities by focusing on single target damage. Okay, so single target damage, that's decent. You can put up some serious numbers and F somebody up like nobody's business, but AoE is pretty good too, so I don't know if that's sacrificing AoE for single target, but if it's not, then okay, we'll take it. Omega's kit provides the Bad Batch squad with some additional sustainability and a self-dispel through her special, Empathy First. Omega fits right into the Bad Batch squad, as her kit also interacts with buffs and debuffs. Her unique part of the squad boosts her damage based on the number buffs, shouldn't that say number of buffs, she has and debuffs her target has. Boosts her damage based on her buffs and the target's debuffs? It's not bad. She also brings several buffs to the table that the Bad Batch squad previously did not have access to. Protection over time, defense penetration, and protection up. Those are all decent. Take them. Actually, protection over time. That's weird. That's a new one. I just realized. There's no such thing as that. Unique attributes. Omega has a new buff, Target Practice, and status effect, Zeroed In. Omega's aim gets better with practice, and when she uses her special ability, Adaptive Learner, against targets with Zeroed In, she will gain more stacks of her Target Practice buff. She can bypass taunt if the target has zeroed in, but you will want to apply this status effect before the enemy gets their taunt up. Wait, what? She can bypass taunt if the target has zeroed in, but you want to apply the status effect before the enemy gets their taunt up. Okay, that almost sounds obvious. Am I misreading this? I don't know. This only enables Omega to bypass enemy taunts to target enemies under the effects of Zeroed In, and does not affect other Bad Batch members. Bypass enemy taunts to target enemies under the effects of Zeroed In. Don't know what that means. She's got a sweet Zygerian energy bow. How is that its own special feature? That's stupid. Unique attributes. You're talking about this stuff, and then she's got a sweet Zygerian energy bow. Oh, okay, cool. Inspiration. What do you think the inspiration is? What is the point of this whole section? Whatever. Omega was always planned to be the fifth member that completes the Bad Batch squad. The other four Bad Batch members' abilities were specifically created with Omega's synergies in mind. Omega's skill and confidence grows throughout the show as she learns how to fight from her Bad Batch allies. Omega picks up his Zygerian energy bow while on a mission, and we wanted to lean into her getting better and better with it over time. Omega's relic is Lula, a Tuca doll owned by Wrecker. Also, the Loth Cat is a specific breed of Tuca. That's kind of funny. Why does Wrecker have a little doll? That's what the picture is up here, right? That's Wrecker's? He seems like a big Brutus guy. Why would he have a stuffed animal? Strategy tips. Keeping Omega under the effects of stealth is critical to keeping her safe and maximizing her damage potential. You either want to use Omega Special, Empathy First, or have a Bad Batch ally give her stealth as soon as possible. A good amount of her overall damage comes from Omega assisting while stealthed. Omega assists for 60% less damage whenever a Bad Batch ally uses a special ability while she is stealthed. 60% less damage, so she does 40%? I never understood what these mean either. It says less damage. So does that mean in comparison to the last hit? Or does that mean from her whatever her hit would be, it's reduced by 60%? You know what I mean? So say Wrecker went and did 100,000 damage. When she goes, is she going to do 40,000? Or is it based on whatever her move would do? Because then that's not bad. What if she was super beefed up and her move would do 200,000? Well, that means she's doing 80,000, so she almost did as much as Wrecker did. I don't know. I never understood what that means though when it says that. Like, I think Ezra's move, Watch and Learn, it does that too. It says someone goes and then Ezra will attack, dealing yada yada more damage. And I'm like, then what though? Then the character who went, or then himself? I never know what that means. Anyhow, Omega Special, Adaptive Learner, is a strong opening move regardless of the enemy she's matched up against. Applying Zeroed In earlier is very important and allows you to start building up stacks of target practice early in battle. Enemies with the Zeroed In status effect can be targeted by Omega even if another enemy has taunt. Use this to keep Omega focused on important targets. As mentioned above, apply this early before the taunt goes up, or you will need to dispel taunt before you can tag your preferred target. You can also use Hunter Special, Finish What We Started, to allow Omega to ignore taunt and apply Zeroed In on desired targets. Reading her name, Omega, feels weird because Omega is the yellow pieces that you need to upgrade majority of, actually technically all, of the moves. I say technically all because Zetas need Omegas as well. So it keeps making me feel like I'm thinking about those, but this is actually this character's name, so it's just kind of throwing me off. Like, sometimes in my head it doesn't make sense. Like, to allow Omega, I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. Wrong Omega. Anyhow, Omega's damage ramps up progressively throughout a battle, so she is particularly adept at longer engagements. Fact. This update also removes the ARC Trooper as a requirement from the Reek combat mission. This allows you to bring in a full squad of Bad Batch characters into the Reek mission, including Omega, since she has the Clone Trooper tag. Omega is not on the list of hero units on the light side Geonosis territory battle, but the 4 other Bad Batch units will be added to the list with this week's update. Omega wasn't present during the Clone Wars, and it didn't feel like it thematically made sense to include her as a hero, but the full Bad Batch squad is still very good in the Geonosis territory battle. Why does she have the Clone Trooper tag? It's partly thematic and partly for gameplay reasons. She's definitely a clone, and she's definitely a trooper, but mostly it is because we wanted her to have the synergy with clones across the board. That is kind of silly though. She's only, I mean, I guess all the clones are brothers, but she's specifically with the Bad Batch, so it is kind of silly to partner her up with all the clones, but whatever. Anyhow, so there you go. Omega's developer insights. Next up is the usual. I'm going to be looking at that kit reveal, so at least check that one out. I'd say if you didn't like this one, but if you made it this far, you watched the whole thing anyway. So yeah, go check out the other one too, the kit reveal. Alright, thanks. And until next one, you already know. Or at least you should already know. I said see ya.